Hi everybody, John Bailey here, gemstone artist and founder of the International Faceting Academy. Welcome back to our studio and to another video on the art and science of faceting precious gemstones. Today I want to talk about faceting competitions and tennis, and how tennis might be related to faceting competitions. Stick with me and you'll see where I'm going. A friend of mine tells me that amateur tennis is what he calls a loser's game. He explains this by saying that 80% of points are lost on what they call unforced errors, or mistakes that the player makes that weren't forced by the opponent making a really great shot. He says in amateur tennis, you win mostly by avoiding errors and waiting for your opponent to make errors. He says that professional tennis is what he calls a winner's game, because the opposite is true. He claims that 80% of points are won when a player makes an incredible shot that forces an error by the other player. In professional tennis, you win by hitting incredible shots. And there are some core insights to this kind of an idea and how it applies to the faceting game. The apprentice phase of any art is to win by not losing. Winning is achieved by not making errors. It's all about patience, care, ritualizing best practices into strong, consistent habits. It's about constantly looking to upgrade your basic techniques. In faceting, that means everything from preforming and dopping to machine handling and ergonomics. It's about following the checklist on rough evaluation so you don't lose by buying garbage. It's about managing basic mechanical properties like cleavage and heat shock sensitivity so you don't destroy the good rough that you did buy. It's about managing basic optical properties like color zoning or an ugly C-axis in tourmaline or more complex pleocruism. It's about building the vocabulary of precise communication about crystals, gemstones, and their properties to build understanding and memory about these things. Having a strong vocabulary also helps avoid buying garbage by helping us recognize both the ignorant and the dishonest when they fly that bright red no-cabulary flag. You have to notice the game you're playing and how it works. There's no point trying to win by winning if the game you're in is being scored by subtraction. You're better off keeping everything simple and being fastidious about best practices. All of that is building the foundation from which to play a game that's scored by addition. If you haven't seen my video titled For the 100th Time about the angles on faceting diagrams, it kind of goes with some of what we're talking about here. I'll put a link in the description below this video. I'm going to offer the opinion that sponsors of competitions built on this subtractive model, where winners succeed by not being sloppy, as it were, might model that paradigm in the way they run their competition. In their instructions, being very clear, precise, and being well planned. In their diagrams, presented with cutting operations in correct and efficient order, and with angles neatly presented and without extraneous digits. It's just a thought about keeping and modeling congruity with the values we say we want to promote or measure in our competition. Now, the master's phase in any art is like professional tennis. We win by winning. When all foundations are already solidly set, when our best practices are second nature, when you don't have to think or discipline yourself to keep your equipment clean, to check your cheater, your index, your angle, those sorts of things. When your dopping is neat, tidy, precise, and secure without any bother about it. When your ergonomics are sound, so you're undistracted by neck pain or bad sleep. When your mind becomes free from all the apprentice-level concerns, you can imagine unique presentations, combinations and arrangements of design elements, and so forth. Then you're ready for the winner's game. Once you get into the show, there's no point trying to play conservatively. audacity, big ideas, and dramatic execution. That's what wins there. And ironically, they stop going after your meats with a 20x loop, looking for a way to subtract from your really wonderful presentation of colorful gemstones. If you look at the difference between most faceting competitions and something like the Cutting Edge Awards, you'll see what I'm talking about. Pay attention to the game you're in and play accordingly. Now, if you haven't seen my video about this faceting competition design, you might want to watch it next. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Do you enter faceting competitions? Why or why not? If you do, what kind of competitions are you entering? And have you thought about the difference between win by not losing competitions and thinking versus win by winning competitions and thinking? Share your answers in the comments below, and I'll be sure to look at them and reply. The best way to be successful in faceting is to keep learning, with more free instruction at facetingacademy.com. You can also join the Academy, level up, and get premium content. And if you're really serious, register for one of our exclusive live training events. While you're on the site, you can shop for faceting machines, accessories, polish, supplies, even faceting rough. Now, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe and hit the bell to make sure you don't miss any of our upcoming content. I look forward to seeing you in the comments below and on the Faceting Academy. Until then, good meets.